Welcome paddle players from across the country for another installment of the PPTA, APTA instructional videos. Today we're going to be doing how they do it. We're going to have Dane Schmidgall talking about how he hits his two-handed backhand. Okay Dane, first thanks for coming out. So on the tour right now everybody's talking about how you hit this great two-handed backhand. Can you give everybody kind of idea of the technique? What's my grip? What am I thinking about as my swing thought? Just to start.
Sure. Well, my grip with my right hand is going to be a continental grip, and I just throw that left hand right on top of the left side of the paddle,
okay,
the left side of the grip. Something that's really important when I hit my two-handed backhand is I make sure I keep my backswing real short. And how I do that is instead of getting my backswing with my arms, I like to get my backswing with my shoulders, and that's going to keep your backswing real short.
Okay, Dave. So as you get yourself all set up, what are you using to hit through this? How much left arm, right arm are you using through this? Or left shoulder, right shoulder?
I'm going to use my left hand and my left shoulder much more than my right arm. I'm going to use my right hand to kind of stabilize the paddle.
Okay.
And use my left hand to hit through.
Okay, Dane. So now that everybody's got set up for the grip and focusing on using bigger muscles, using their left shoulder, what are we thinking about in terms of contact point and footwork wise?
Well, I'm thinking number one, I want to get sideways. And as far as the contact goes, I want it slightly out in front, about where that right hip is.
Okay.
And after the contact, it's very important to swing directly towards where your target is.
What's your distance from your body, Dane, that you're hitting it?
Well, both arms should be slightly bent. You don't want to be reaching way out, so it's a real short, compact swing.
Perfect. Now, when you're hitting this, how much wrist are you getting involved in it?
Yeah, I cock my wrist back just a little bit on the backswing, and I'm not using too much wrist when I hit my shot.
Okay, perfect. Why don't we showcase, Dane, some good and bad backhands, bad technique and good technique. Why don't we start with the return of serve, and then we'll do just some off-the-deck ground strokes.
Okay.
Okay, Dane, so we've covered how to hit it, what grip. How do we make sure we get this involved when we're playing? What are we thinking? How are you setting it up?
Well, that depends which side you're playing. If you're playing the ad side, you're going to look to lob a little bit more cross court.
Okay.
And hope that they hit that overhead back cross court somewhere in the corner of the ad service box is an ideal spot to step up and drive that backhand.
Okay, how about when you're in the deuce side? What are you thinking about?
When you're in the deuce spot, you're looking for any short overhead down the middle is really the ones that you're looking to rip.
Okay. So if, let's say I was your partner, what would you do to help me out to make sure you get more backhands when you're playing? Where am I looking to go?
Oh, I'd get together with my partner and I'd say, try hitting some lobs down the line. If we do that successfully, I think either way we can open up my backhand, whether I'm playing the deuce or the ad side.
Now, when you're playing, do you favor a side? Let's say you're in the ad side. Do you cheat more to the middle to make sure that you get more backhands? Or are you more in your traditional home base?
Yeah, I cheat a little bit to the middle. I make sure not to cheat too much, leaving my corner too open.
Okay. Now, when you return and serve, Dane, I know you love your backhand. Is there ever a time you won't try to hit your backhand off the return of serve?
Sure, yeah. If I'm playing a guy who's got a real heavy kick serve that's bouncing up real high over my shoulders, I'm not looking to drive anything up here head high. I like to drive backhands in between my waist and my shoulders is my strike zone.
Okay, Dane. Well, how about this? We'll hit some return of serves. Let's showcase where we don't want to drive and where we do want to drive the return of serve with your backhand.
Gotcha.
Okay, Dane, first, thanks for coming out, showcasing that good backhand. Give me a reason why, if you're a paddle player out there right now, why do you want to learn a two-handed backhand?
Well, I think typically as a paddle player, you're taught to kind of exploit the backhand side of each player. And if you're playing somebody and they're trying to bail out to your backhand and all of a sudden you can rip drives and make them really volley, that's a huge advantage.
Perfect. And Dave, when you're playing, and we did some as we were playing the points, you're setting up so well. Give me your thought process rather than, reacting to these shots, which a lot of people may do. Anticipation. Talk a little bit about what you're thinking about when you're anticipating. What are you looking for?
I'm gonna pay attention to where they're hitting their overhead from and how likely is it that they may hit it to my backhand. And if I'm anticipating a backhand, I'm going to get my backhand grip ready to hit before they even make contact with their overhead. And that way I can move my feet, get to my shot, and do what I have to do to hit.
Perfect, Dave. Well, Dan, thanks for coming out. And for more great tips, find your local PPTA pro at usappta.com. And always remember, practice makes perfect. Get out there.